give them one more round of applause, please. Well, good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lovett, and I'm actually going to be a freshman in college this year. I just graduated from Quincy Floyd's High School. And today I've been given the pleasure to share my testimony with y'all. So ever since I was little, I was born and raised in a church environment. You know, I've been to a variety of churches. I was raised in Quincy for a little bit, and I went to Pleasant Union, and then we eventually went to Langston. But I was always kind of raised to know of God. I kind of knew Him, but I was never really following Him or with Him. I would just kind of sit in the church pews and truthfully take naps. I'm not going to lie, I would fall asleep. But, and then one day, a couple of my friends, they all got baptized, and we were talking at the rec field, and they were like, you know, you need to get baptized. The end of the world is coming soon. Jesus is coming. You need to do it. So they kind of peer pressured me into it, and I kind of fell to the peer pressure, and I got baptized in a false manner. And then, so I stayed in that little lukewarm lifestyle for a little bit until about 6th or 7th grade. Whenever we were going to Langston Baptist Church, they had a revival there, and a guy by the name of Tyler Blue Ministries, he came in and he was there for a week. And I think that was actually one of the biggest revivals in Horry County in a long time. They had about 1,000 some kids get saved during that time. And I went there that very first Sunday, and he was giving a little lesson. And during that lesson, I felt like everything he said was talking to me. It was pointing directly at me, and kind of like my consciousness and my soul and everything, it felt pointed to me like it was calling my name, in a sense. Calling me that, saying that, hey, this is your time to go. This is your time to accept Jesus and follow Him and dedicate your life to Him. And so that evening, me and my family, we went down to the pew area, and I got rededicated my life during that time. And as a lot of us know, whenever you are going through Christianity, it's not an easy task. You're going to have darkness, you're going to go through some tough times, and you're going to fall off. And after I got saved or rededicated, I kind of fell off again in a sense. I started doing more things for the world aspect of things. I started living more for the world and then for the Lord. I was not in the book as much. I wasn't praying nearly as much as I needed to. And then in February, I think it was February 5th, 2019, one of my best friends got sent to the hospital for what we thought at the time was a simple illness like the flu. And then I found out about a week or so later that it was actually stage 4 leukemia, cancer. My friend, his name was Tanner Buffkin. Some of y'all know him. And during that time, right before then, Tanner, he recently rededicated his life and got saved. So he was big in his faith during that time. And I didn't know this until later on, but he actually had a vision where I think he went with an angel. Miss Cammie can tell you all the story. She knows it very well. But basically, he went up in heaven, and the Lord told him, hey, you're not going to make it out. And he saw this beautiful creation. And we didn't figure this out until afterwards. Then I heard the story. But as we went through, Tanner was very courageous and strong. And he was kind of like the core of a lot of the friend group. He had a very strong faith, and he was just a good leader for all of us, a good example he set for all of us. And so fast forward 6 months, August 14th, 2019, at about 10:20 a.m., Tanner passed away. And it didn't really sit right with me. I couldn't understand how the Lord could take such a beautiful soul away from us so early. And my mom, over there, she actually told me the story of what Tanner told his grandma at the time, because his grandma told my mom. And I'm like, So I started to kind of get back into prayer, started to kind of read the Bible again, and just ask questions. And then, you know, whenever you start reading the Bible more and you get to praying, you kind of see another understanding. You get another understanding of what's going on. And about that same time, I remember Tanner telling me I needed to start going to church more, because at the time, I didn't go to church. I just stood at home, watched TV, played video games like most middle school kids do these days. And so about that time, that's whenever COVID started happening. 2 of my good friends Seth Buffkin and Josh Gore, they both attend this church. They invited me to come here for a Wednesday afternoon service, a Youth Wednesday service. So I said, sure, why not? So I joined in, and ever since then I kind of started coming to this church a lot more. And with this church right here, it brought up amazing opportunities for me. You know, it not only kind of revived my faith, kind of like with Lil Red this morning, in times of darkness, light will shine. And this was a shining point for me. It brought light to me. It brought me back to realization that there is a God, and you need to get back on your point. But also that it gave me opportunity to start speaking and start spreading the word. Miss Hope, along with my former football coach, Coach Price, they were very big in starting FCA and stuff like that in schools. And they needed some help with some leadership stuff, and they kind of asked me and some others, kind of like Kate, and we were given the opportunity to speak at a variety of events. We were speaking at stuff like Fields of Faith. They have an FCA banquet you can speak at as well that we help out with. And it just gives you the time and opportunity to go and spread the word. And I kind of want to tie this into like the lesson we had this morning with Esther. You know, we were talking with, I think it's Miss Wanda's her name. When she asked a question, it is Miss Wanda? Okay, thank you, Miss Cammie. But we were talking about how does this story relate to you? And, you know, you gotta look at it. Esther, she stood up to the highest power that the world saw at that time. You know, she was an orphan, she was a Jew. She was basically at the very bottom of the totem pole. And whenever you go and you see her story and how she came to rise and how she did not fear necessarily the power of earth, but she stayed trusted with the Lord, and she stayed trusted in His power and how that overcame. It's just an amazing story. And I think you can all see this in every single person here, if we're all saved. Every person's story is powerful in their own way. And we can all create our own thing. So with that being said, I want to thank Seth, you're over there. Thank you for bringing me here again. You got thumbs up, thank you. And I want to thank you all for just accepting me and welcoming everyone here. And thank y'all.